3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog. It's the weekly show about video games old and new. My name is Tyler Everett. This is episode 74 and it is April 21st, 2018. Joining me once again, as always, it's the one, the only, the Brian Maxwell. How's it going, man?
Great. Good evening. Happy April 21st to you, sir.
Yeah, it is that. We're still standing. Nothing,
We're about to cross over. We're about to pierce the veil.
Yeah?
April 22nd, coming down. Yep.
Look out. April,
coming
we're gunning for you. Also gunning for April 22nd, it's an Aaron Crane.
I'm not gunning for April 22nd necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm gunning for that Earth Day. Happy Earth Day, everybody.
Earth Day hype. What
Yep, that's the day where you bake a cake for the Earth.
What are your big Earth Day plans other than baking cakes? You know, if you were hold on, let me cut you off after I ask you a question. If you were real about celebrating Earth Day, you wouldn't bake a cake because you wouldn't be adding extra heat to the environment and contributing to global warming.
Tyler, you think I'm gonna use like you think I'm gonna make like a real cake? No. See, what I'm gonna do is make like a little soil cake, plant a tree in it. That's Earth Day.
Yeah,
there you go.
It seems like you did a real 180 there.
Yeah. Don't you can't.
That's because I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else cool happen other than fake Earth Day cakes this week?
I went to a baseball game yesterday.
Oh shit! Like a real one, not a video game.
Like a real one. The Detroit Tigers against the Kansas City Royals, and it was okay.
Yeah. Boy, yep. Don't oversell it.
The game itself was okay. I went with a group of like a safety patrol thing. My wife's school, and all the kids got to go, and that was fun hanging out with the kids.
Did you get a hot dog?
I did not. I got peanuts though.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of peanuts at the ballpark because you can just throw the shell literally wherever.
Like an animal.
Yeah, like an animal. And I really dig I'm getting to do that.
It's environmentally friendly. So.
I mean, I do it. If I do that in my own living room, I get yelled at. So.
Hashtag Earth Day. Yeah,
I'm a dog to eat that shit up now.
Yeah, peanuts won't kill it. I find peanuts in my yard all the time, which is weird because I don't feed my dog peanuts, so I don't know where they come from.
Doesn't your daughter have a peanut allergy?
No. Peanuts are A-okay.
Just everything else?
Just everything else.
Huh.
Yeah, I was cleaning the yard up today, and I was finding peanut shells all over the place, and I'm like, we don't buy peanuts, just plain old peanuts, so I don't know if the neighbors are feeding the squirrels or what, but they're making it into the yard. Isn't that interesting? There you go. There's my yard update for the week.
Let's dive deep on this.
Next week,
are these peanuts getting into the yard?
It's a real mystery. I should set up cameras. Turn my webcam around and watch the squirrels outside and find out how these nuts are getting in my yard.
You damn squirrels! You get your nuts out of my lawn.
And take the peanuts too. There you go. Heyo. That's what you come here for. You come to Questlog for the sick jokes.
Hit the turn signal. We need to.
Yep, here we go.
The next exit.
You know what? Here it is. Here comes the turn signal, and it's called this. Oh, let's talk about what we've been playing this week. Man, it's been a big old week. There's a little something called Minit that I've been playing. Oh, psych! You thought I was going somewhere I wasn't. But yeah, Brian played a game called Minit 2 weeks ago. Last week, and I decided to get all up on that with you. That's a cool little game. I enjoyed my time with it greatly.
Figured that'd work for you.
I
Really
haven't finished it
captures
yet.
that old Zelda gameplay.
Yeah. It's like an old Game Boy version of Zelda, only you die every minute. And I played for about 28 minutes and felt like I finally got the hang of the game, got the whole, you know, the gameplay loop down, as it were.
Yeah.
You usually have about enough time to cover, I don't know, 5-6 different squares, and then you're pretty much done. So the trick is you got to get from one house to a different house. Like I found a trailer in the desert, and that kind of opened up this new thing of like, okay, well, if I know I need to do something on the other side of the map, I need to just make it to the other house first, and then from there I can respawn and do what I need to do.
So you can spawn inside any of the houses.
Right.
It's
You
like
can
whatever
go
one
back
you
and,
visited
start
last.
back in your first house again if you need to.
Yeah.
So if I guess I'm curious how that works. Do I automatically respawn at the previous house I was in?
Yep.
And then I can only choose to go back to the original house. I can't choose to spawn at any of the other ones.
You don't
You have
choose.
to walk your ass there.
Yeah, you
Okay.
whatever one you go into last acts like a checkpoint, and that's
Gotcha.
where you respawn. So, yeah, it's a neat little thing. There's a lot of character in it for being just a real, 2D ass 2D exploration game is what it is.
Yep. And it does an awful lot of the I can see that, but I can't get to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure out the key for this and come back later.
I really love how like all the items are just like real plain shit. Like, oh, you got the watering can and the gardening glove and the coffee.
I hope I can buy shoes soon.
Yeah. Oh, I found the running shoes. You gonna let me run super
Yep.
fast? Can't afford them yet though.
Those are some pricey kicks.
Yeah. When you're a weird little Tamagotchi duck man person thing, you gotta have the fly kicks, man.
Did you find the place where you need the kicks?
No.
There's like a maze that you don't possibly have time to get through.
Okay. All right. That's pretty good. I did find
Yeah,
a
can I
turtle
get them
that
shoes?
talked me to death. I just died waiting for him to finish his fucking story. That was pretty funny. I laughed. I got an achievement for that. Yeah, it's a cool game, man. I'm gonna finish it. I've heard it doesn't take long. It's like, maybe
couple
like an
hours.
hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. So, yeah, I think I'll probably finish it. It's pretty cool. Check it out, Minit. Get it now. Get it while it's hot before it dies in a minute. And I don't know if we're gonna get the other guys on here or not. Luke and we had another potential guest, but we'll just kick off the Sea of Thieves talk now. And we had a heck of a session last night, didn't we, Crank?
Tyler, we're too good at that game.
Don't you're too modest, Crank.
And by we, I mean you.
Well, that's
Just go ahead and
flattering.
take a bow, or whatever the audio version of a bow is.
I'll yar it. Yeah, we've been playing this pretty much every night that we can, and last night was real cool. We got Mike, shout out to Lead Lunchbox in the chat, and friend of the show, but he got in there with us, and it was pretty awesome. We showed him the ropes and got to do pretty much everything, all the quintessential Sea of Thieves experiences. We started a voyage, started thunking some chests.
How was he able to thunk all those random chests though? That was crazy.
He's real good at it. He was pretty good at it. He picked it up real quick. We saw a skull fort show up and went and did that successfully, but not without some troubles. We ran into a few other galleons and stuff and managed to come out the other side. It was a good time, man. I have a lot of fun playing this game.
And then we decided to just rove around and kill a bunch of people and sink their ships.
Yeah.
Take what little they had.
Yeah, so like over the past week and a half, I've kind of changed what my strategy is. I usually wind up being the one taking the helm and steering the boat when we get in a group, and I've adapted a shock and awe policy when it comes to dealing with other ships, and the strategy is pretty much just get as much wind as I can, get going as fast as I can, hit their ship, and then board them immediately, and that seems to work really well. Yep, hit them hard and fast. Just get in their face, and it works. It works extremely well. It's a lot of people will do the thing where it's like, oh, everyone lines up real nice and easy, and tries to get their cannons lined up and
shots.
Yeah, do a bunch of that, and it's you can do that for a really long time, and you're really just trying to wear each other down at that point. Who's got more resources on their boat is the game you're playing there.
Yeah, and what happens when you ram them and then Tyler goes and boards them is he'll usually kill one and or two of them, maybe three, maybe all of them. That's just, kind of how Tyler rolls. But then what ends up happening is we hit dead on at him, and then it turns our boat to one side or the other side, and then we just unload cannon shots on them while Tyler is boarding and killing all of them. So while they're focusing on trying to kill Tyler, they're taking on water from our cannon shots and the collision. And that one ship, we must have sunk them in 30 seconds. Like, it was just, we showed up and they were done. No can do. Like,
they were
bye.
anchored. We hit them, and then I heard somebody go, "Oh shit!" And I was already on their boat, so like I immediately just ran downstairs, killed the first person I found trying to repair, and now they're taking cannon fire, and no one can repair the boat. It was like, it was pretty brutal. My favorite moment though from last night was we did the same thing. We caught another boat trying to salvage a sunken ship, and we did the same tactic, just ran into him as hard as we could, and I'm gonna forget the line now. I jumped off and killed this guy immediately with a blunderbuss.
I just got dick smacked.
That's what it was. Yeah,
good old proximity chant.
As the guy was dying, I could see his ghost leaving him. He's oh shit, I just got dick slapped. That made my night. I also got called lots of bad names, and that fueled part of our vindictive rage last night. It was like this one boat got away, and we managed to get to an island, sell all our stuff, and then we saw them docked, not even out of eyesight yet. So we went back and made sure to stink them, finish the job, because they were using some language I didn't approve of. So yeah, it's a good time. It's I don't know. I still don't know what it is. It's a weird game. It's not like other games. It
scratches that itch from Rust that was left by Rust when they changed it and made it a whole. I like the simplicity of this game. There's so few things to manage and deal with and have to understand that then it becomes a nuanced game of how you get these systems to work together. And that's what I like about this game so much. When they made Rust like big and complicated and added all the things that we actually had been asking for, I stopped liking it. But this is getting me right back in.
This doesn't have the survival elements, but it's like that condensed, and it's almost like a game of capture the flag.
Yep,
that's kind of the feeling I get from it. Is you go out and find the loot or flag, and then try to get it back to home base while other people try to stop you. That's kind of the core gameplay. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun with it. If you want to jump in there and learn the ropes with us, send us an email. Send with your gamer tag. We'll add you. We'll get in there and get some loot, sink some ships. It'll be a grand old time. So do that. Kring, what have you been playing?
I finished Until Dawn last weekend.
Okay.
And I've brought shame and dishonor upon my household.
Okay. This just
because there was a character that my wife and I both really liked. I think his name was Chris, and
Chris.
we. You have to go through this section where you have to shoot people or shoot these creatures really that are coming after you, and it's real weird because like it brings up your reticle on screen and it brings up the target you have to shoot, but but your reticle is never in the center of the screen when you start, so you have to like find the reticle and the target and then obviously aim for it. So it was real weird trying to like first figure out where I'm aiming before I can aim at the thing that I need to hit, and I ended up missing a shot.
Kring, no.
And he died. And my wife goes, Aaron, why did you do that? I'm like, I didn't mean to. Like, I didn't want him to die. I'm like, I want to. That was the first moment where I wanted to go back, but I couldn't.
I have an important question because your phrasing was unclear.
Yeah.
Did you shoot him, or did you fail to save him by missing the thing you were shooting?
I failed to shoot the thing that was coming in trying to kill me, and it killed me. Yeah.
Carry on.
It cut his head clean off.
He didn't like roll a 1 and critically fail it.
No, I needed to roll a 12 and I rolled 11.
I have to ask because I could see Kring shooting him and then being like, I missed my shot and he died.
No, I missed my shot and this creature killed me, and she was mad at me and I was distraught, and like even at the end of the game she's like, see, you could have saved Chris.
The divorce paper filing
too.
Will list this as a defining moment in the relationship.
You want to hold the gun? You want to wear the daddy pants?
You've been tried and found wanting, sir. You had your chance.
But that game is awesome, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who is a fan of. If like Tyler, you played Life is Strange. You played
yeah.
What was that other one we played? The Telltale
like
thing with the fairy tale peoples.
Yeah,
Wolf
Among Us. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You enjoy that choice-based gameplay.
Yep.
You should come and play Until Dawn. I
don't like horror movies or horror games at all. Not even a little bit.
My wife just walked in the room to remind me that I killed Chris and that I'm a failure. So
there you go. Forever.
I mean, you can have those kinds of memories, Tyler, by playing Until Dawn.
Wouldn't you like to get into more disagreements with your wife, Tyler?
That's what I need. That's
we
what
can
I
do
need.
That for you.
I need one more opportunity for that in my life.
Do you think you'll play this again, Kring?
No, I won't play it again. Just because so towards the end, then there gets to be a lot of puzzles. Not puzzles really, but like I'll be like sitting on my couch, like leaning way back, just hands kind of on my lap or something like that, or
40 in one hand,
I got my puppy
blunt in the
next to
other.
me, and I'm like handing the controller, and then all of a sudden it says "Don't move," and I'm like, "Shit!" Because when it says "Don't move," it's not like, "Oh, get your controller set and then don't move." It's do not move a single muscle at all.
Is it like motion? It's like motion sensing.
And it's got the motion sensing. And if you move even just a little bit, like try to adjust it, you all of a sudden realize that you are not in a comfortable position to not move at all. So I started cheating, like when we got to the end a little bit.
Pause.
Cheating, but I played through the end a little bit, and I would just set the controller down on the table and just leave it there when it was those don't move things, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. You realize like your heart starts racing. You're like, I don't want to fuck this up. I already killed Chris. I can't fuck this up too.
That sounds so fun.
God, I hate you, Tyler. It's so much fun.
Yeah, you have to cheese the game by setting your controller on the table to play it. That sounds real cool.
No, but the fun part about it is it's so nerve-wracking.
I'd be curious how different the story is. How different it plays through, because I've heard it's very, very different.
Yeah, well, my wife and I decided we watched some YouTube videos of like the good ending and like the best ending and the worst ending, and during the best ending, like there was this, or no, I'm sorry, the worst ending.
Are you going to totally spoil this right now?
No.
Carry
During
on.
the worst ending is
We all live.
yeah. So what it does at the end of the game is it'll recap for you, and it'll show you like the death scenes of every single character and what time of the night they died. So during the worst ending, we saw the death of a character that we killed like very early in the night. I killed by like making a bad choice, trying to run to rescue her, and didn't work out. But she died in a completely different way than she did in our game, and I was like, oh, like she could have, like these characters could die a multitude of different ways, and that's pretty sweet to me. That like it can be completely different.
I'm kind of with Tyler. Like, this is all super appealing to me, everything except for the genre. If it were like a detective, thriller, drama, something.
Yeah, because you really liked what was it called? Not Heavy Rain.
This reminds me of Heavy Rain.
Yeah, Heavy Rain.
Which I loved, in spite of all of its flaws and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and with maybe a different coat of paint, I could probably be into it too, but
I will say the voice work in this game and the motion capture in this game is top notch. There were a couple of different times where I caught my wife. She was talking about this movie, and I'm like, movie? No, this is a video game. She's like, it looks like a movie. It's that well done. You get sucked into it.
Interactive media experience. Well, that's cool. And you got that for like $6 on sale or something, right?
Yeah. It was only like a few dollars on the PlayStation Store when I picked it up, so it can be had for cheap.
Good stuff. Well, Brian, what have you been up to this week?
I restarted and completed Transistor this week.
That's
finally.
real cool. That's a Supergiant Games
a
joint.
Supergiant game. Yep.
Yeah.
That was the only one I hadn't finished to this point. I think they might be my favorite game developers.
That's high praise.
I think we're getting to that point. Like, I've had probably 2 or 3 false starts with this game where I picked up and played it for a few hours and then didn't come back to it. Their like storytelling and music and voice acting is, I think it's the best in the industry. It's just fantastic. Like, I don't love the combat and the actual gameplay in this, which I think is why it took me so long to finish it, but everything else was just top notch. Like, on paper, this should work for me. Like, it's real-time combat, but you can pause it and like queue up actions.
Kind of grid-based, right?
Nope. It's like, it kind of looks like it, but no, it's just just free and open. By the end of the game, you get something like, I don't know, 14 or 16 different skills, and each one can be equipped either as a primary skill, like as an add-on to a different skill, or as a passive skill. So you've got, probably thousands of combinations that you can do. That's a lot of targets.
I was just laughing because yesterday was 420 and there's an enemy on screen called Weed 3.0. And it just made me giggle because I'm a child.
It's on topic. No, it's on point. Yeah, like the enemies are all kind of these like robots, and they're kind of bland, except the combat's not great, but like they really set up a good mystery. Like, you're controlling this opera singer, or not an opera singer, but like she's an artist, but she's a performer named Red, and she's got this
USB
talking sword with her, and the city appears to be completely deserted. So, right off the rip, it's like, okay, who is she? Why is the sword talking to me? Where did everybody go? And you're going through and kind of piecing together clues. And just the soundtrack is fantastic.
Yeah, you linked one of the one of the cutscenes where she's like singing. I think is probably the opening cutscene to the game.
It's an early one, yeah.
Or an early one at least. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Music and visual design go together in a really cool way, and it does blend this like high fantasy and tech stuff really well. Like
everything's got this almost like hazy, dreamlike quality to it.
Yeah.
And I think one of the voice actors, the voice actor who does the voice in the store, I think he is the narrator from Bastion.
Oh,
I want to say, like, it sounds like the same dude.
He's not doing the narrator voice, but he's
the same guy. It's the same guy.
That's cool.
So yeah, it took me, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours over a couple of days. Definitely worth it just for the environment, just for the story.
That's cool.
Ending surprised me.
Yeah, I could tell like when you finished it, there was, you kind of jumped on social media and stuff to kind of, I don't know, praise the game and stuff.
At the end, but it definitely caught me off guard. I was just like, why the fuck did that happen? And the more I thought about it, the more it's kind of stuck with me. So
that's cool. Maybe I'll give it a try someday. The combat definitely doesn't look like my thing either, but
it ain't great, but
I like their stuff.
Worth it.
Yeah, I really loved Bastion. I didn't finish.
You're tearing me apart, Tyler.
What was the other one?
Pyre.
Pyre. That's right.
Pyre.
But I definitely got it. And see everything that was there. So, yeah, maybe I'll give this a go. If you're willing to say like they might be your favorite developer, I think it's probably worth checking out.
That is high praise from Brian.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. You guys played something else this week, though. That's not all you played.
Tyler.
I'm so sorry, Tyler.
I'm sorry, Tyler. I, for your sake, I wanted to hate it. I wanted to not hate it. I wanted to just come on here and be like,
this is such a weird reaction.
The Viking thing's not that great.
We played God of War. It was adequate. Let's get on with the news.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. But Tyler, it's fucking fantastic.
It's so goddamn good, Tyler.
The whole Viking thing plays, and it plays so well. And I know that's what you wanted. Was like
I think I said this exact thing probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I think I was like, man, like the God of War games have been kind of stale. Like, I don't really dig the whole Greek mythology thing. If they just set that shit in like Norse mythology instead and like made it more serious and less about just Kratos is just a fucking asshole.
He's so mad. He's so mad.
Yeah, he's just so angry. And they've literally done all of that.
Yeah, there's runes and there's axes and Niflheims and all the things you want.
All the Heims.
Worms with a Y.
Mm-hmm.
They took Kratos, gave him the Logan treatment, threw him into a Norse environment, and just let you go. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, grouchy dad Kratos is the best Kratos by far.
Yep. Because really surprisingly, it's a character with actual depth now. Instead of just being that one note of super aggressive, angry about something.
He doesn't have that horrible
I'm very much here for the
anymore.
story and the world, which I thought I'd never say about a God of War game ever.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah. And I mean, it goes without saying, but it looks fucking great. Like,
it does.
The game looks so good. It's a real pretty game. You guys are both. Wait, Kring, you got a Pro?
No, I don't have a Pro.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought. Yeah, I keep hearing that it looks really, really good in 4K too, which I would love to see someday. But man, yeah, my jealousy
having
is
his boy
severe.
Along with him, like he makes for a really good counterbalance to Kratos because his boy is not a fighter. He's very much like he wants to help people. Every time he sees someone in trouble, he's like, "Dad, should we help them?" And he's just like, "No, they're just gonna get in our way." He's like, "But they need help." And he's just like, "So?" He's like, like, turn off your feelings. Shut that shit out. We gotta go.
Yeah. So that was one thing I was skeptical about the game is does the whole game feel like an escort quest? Are you
No,
trying to
the
protect
kid's
a
great.
small child?
not at all. The kid's fantastic.
I
Yeah.
played for probably 5 hours or so, and at no point has it been like, oh no, he's been captured. I gotta go save him, or I gotta protect him. His health bar is low. Like,
He just
none
kind of
that
takes
shit.
care of his own self. Can he
Mhm.
die? Can he get?
No, not that I
Okay.
know of anyway. Not that I've seen yet.
He's gotten attacked a couple of times,
Okay.
but I haven't seen him die.
Okay. Oh, Rob says it looks really good in 4K. Yeah. Shit.
I bet it does.
I believe it. I believe it, sir.
Like, all their dialogue's really good. Like, anytime you're traveling, they're just kind of having banter back and forth, and like Kratos is telling him stories, and his kid's like, "Dad, you don't tell a lot of stories, do you?" Because he's real shit at it.
That's funny.
He's like, there was a tortoise in the hare, and the hare was overconfident and cocky, and the tortoise was just slow and disciplined, and the tortoise won. He's just like, that's
cool
that's
story,
great,
bro.
Dad.
I hear that the whole like one camera shot thing actually like lives up to the hype there.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm not especially excited about that. It's neat that they could pull it off.
Yeah. But you actually don't end up seeing any loading screens or anything like that, huh? It's just all
No.
once you hit start, you're just in there. That's cool.
Yep. And actually, I hadn't even noticed anything about that until just now that you've mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
hadn't,
kind of that's kind of what you want, right? Is you want that kind of thing to
Right.
just not be noticeable. It's cool.
But yeah, like, his boy's been living with his mother. Kratos is off being mad and ripping the wings off of demons and kicking things in half. So Kratos, like, he can't read any of the Norse runes or anything, so he needs his boy
Makes
to
sense.
decipher shit for him. And he calls him
That's
boy.
cool.
Like, he almost never calls him by name. He's just
Boy.
like, boy, read this.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever heard him call his name is when he's getting like attacked. Like there was a time that he got attacked and ended up having to like, you see him. I don't want to give anything away, but he gets attacked and Kratos, like in concern, calls out his name.
Right. Yeah, just like in conversation, it's just boy.
Yep.
Which is really good. Yeah, and there's some good moments where it looks like there might be a little bit of depth to Kratos finally. Like, there's a couple of moments where he like reaches out to put his hand on his kid's shoulder to kind of console him, and you see him kind of stop and pull back, where it's just like, nope, we're not supposed to get attached to things or feel things. Every time his boy shows concern, he's just like, nope, shut that shit off.
Yep.
It's cool. I mean, it's cool that you guys care about the story that's going on here, because that was something that I remember getting hyped for God of War 2, and the story was never a part of that. It was just I want to carve
right off of me.
Yeah,
I remember playing God of War 2, and I played it for an hour or two, and I'm just like, this is just God of War 1 again. Like,
and
even the story even story in the first God of War kind of bounced off of me as well. What stuck with me those first God of War games is the boss fights are epic, and the gameplay is super fluid and fast.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and that's what's kind of interesting about this is like it's a total role reversal, because I was coming to the first 3 for the gameplay, and it's super fluid and fast and fun, and you're moving around, and this is everything feels more purposeful and has more weight behind it in terms of gameplay than it did before.
Yeah, it's this like over the shoulder combat.
Yeah,
which is different. I don't love the combat. Like, I turn it down to easy. I just want to kind of burn through the combat and get to the story and see the environments and everything.
I tried playing it on default and almost died to that first boss fight with that troll.
If you skip ahead a little bit, I did die to that first boss.
I then died to you fought the stranger.
It's right here.
I died to the stranger probably 3 or 4 times, and that's when I went, no, fuck this. I got to turn this difficulty down.
That's when I turned it down.
Yep.
Because I don't know. It's not fun for me to be like, oh fuck it, I got to try it again.
Yeah, I only have so much time. I don't have infinite hours to waste beating my head against the wall to try to beat this guy for no real gain.
Oh man, see,
I
that's the
definitely like
opposite for me.
fighting one big monster instead of a bunch of little ones because I find that I lose track of where everybody is, like with no HUD. I find that things are hitting me when I didn't see them, and that's one of my big beefs with this kind of combat. I hate that, but like after this thing killed me the first time, I went into Monster Hunter mode. I'm like, okay, stay back, watch its patterns, dodge, move in, hit, dodge, roll away.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, it's reminding me a lot of how I played Breath of the Wild. Like I was there for that challenge. I wanted to. I really wanted to engage with the combat and the difficulty of that game could present. And
there are some games where I'll do that. Like Monster Hunter is, if I want challenging combat, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, this just seems like it could definitely scratch that itch for me. It's got all the paint that I like.
You'd love it, Tyler. I mean, it goes without saying. But
yeah, Tyler, this is a you.
What if they made a God of War game specifically for you?
Yeah. And Tyler gets to walk into Santa Monica Studios and go, I would like you to make a game specifically for me. This is the game that would come out the other end.
Right, and it feels like they did. I feel like I need to call them and ask them if they've been like tapping my phones or something, if they've been listening in my old Geek Squad days when we'd sit and bullshit about video games and how I could make them better. Like, pretty sure they just handed me every single thing that was on the wish list. Now, if only they could make it come out on PC so I could actually play the fucking thing. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
Yeah, make Kratos have some depth and not just be one note, and put Norse everything in it. Ship it.
Yep, I'm on board for that. Well, I'm gonna play this damn game somehow, someday. That's for sure.
Yeah, one day or another, a PS4 will fall into your lap. This and Horizon.
Or we'll just end up letting you borrow one for.
There you go. Once
a while.
maybe next year during the spring slow times, I can just snag one from you guys. That'd be great. You mentioned Horizon. I saw a cool thing on Reddit. Maybe I can pull it up. Yeah, probably not. But yeah, the developers of Horizon released this cool art thing that they did of Aloy helping Atreus aim his bow with Kratos over his shoulder, kind of smugly, proudly looking over his shoulder. That was pretty cool. I like when devs are cool doing stuff like that.
I like that we're seeing that a lot more now. Like Phil Spencer goes on Twitter and he's like, hey Sony, good job with Horizon, congratulations. That's neat that we don't have to be like children anymore.
Nintendo, or what is it? Sega does what Nintendo don't. Yeah, that shit's just real stupid.
Mario's slow and lame.
We're getting that now on the Twitter wars with fast food companies, though. Like Wendy's is out there just roasting McDonald's every fucking day. It's their job. I'm kind of okay with it there.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Oh man,
give me nihilist Arby's all day.
Yeah, there you go. I read a story about that where I guess the Arby's people actually reached out to the guy that was running that Twitter account and met him and brought him a bunch of Arby's sandwiches and stuff.
That's how we do it.
The right response.
That's how we get all this stuff. That's how you get free stuff. You just have to, make fun of it in a really good way.
There you go. Gosh, you're gonna throw that axe right through this monster's asshole. It's gonna just be so cool.
Oh, I'm trying. Yeah, throwing the axe, then you push a button to make it snap back to your hand. That feels real good too.
Yeah, you are Thordos with an axe.
I heard somebody say that they accidentally made a really good Thor game.
It is. You could pluck Kratos right out of here, throw Thor in there, replace that axe with a hammer, and it would be just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's still got some of the big dumb God of War moments too. The cinematics where you're.
Yes, but now those cinematics are not stupid.
Right, button prompts, quick
button prompts anymore, which I hate. I hate those things because then you end up pressing the wrong button. You have to restart the whole thing, and it's just dumb. Just show me the cinematic.
Man, that's cool. That fight is really cool. I love how at the beginning Atreus is just like, we have to fight that, and now you get to see the end of that. So cool.
Yeah, he's kind of losing it a little bit. Yeah, this is where Kratos is like, you're not ready.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like you find the kid sitting on his bed, just being like, he doesn't know anything.
Dad sucks.
Yeah, it's Tyler.
Tyler, please.
If I could have one wish, it would be, well, I mean, for like lots and lots of money, but then I'd buy you a PlayStation with that.
Okay, all right, deal. I hope your wishes come true, all of them. Good stuff. Well, hey, that's gonna wrap up what we've been playing. Let's get into some news. I love the news. It's so good. Hey, did you know that High School Sports Association is going to sanction some esports?
What?
Yep, the National Federation of State High Schools, or NFSHS, is they're the organization what writes the rules for like all high school sports, so football and soccer and lacrosse and whatever. I guess they're actually going to start setting a groundwork of rule sets and stuff for high schools to compete in MOBAs and fighting games, and sports games too. So yeah, that's kind of interesting.
A good thing. I think kids are gonna be playing games anyway. Might as well,
get a varsity jacket for it.
Get a varsity jacket for it. Try and teach a little sportsmanship.
I don't think it's that. How do I want to put this? I don't think it's that far-fetched now that these people are starting to see how much money is coming into esports, how much sponsorships and prize pools and stuff like that that are being collected completely by the gaming companies and communities around them that aren't involved in grant money or anything like that. They're starting to see those dollars and going like, maybe we can tap into this a little bit and provide something for students that is valuable to them. So that's pretty cool.
Like they said, they aren't going to include shooters.
Well, that would be in poor taste.
But like the individual states, if they want to do that, they can themselves. But
they're not going to
organizations like hands off. They're like, we don't want none of that.
Yeah,
you do you. Well, I could see stuff like Overwatch. I mean, it's more cartoonish, but still, a lot of people are going to have a problem because it's guns and shooting.
Guns. Yeah, I'm. At that point, it's kind of like it feels like you're splitting hairs. Like, okay, so I can go into League of Legends.
There's no blood. Like, no one shows any pain.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can light people up with fireballs and stuff in League of Legends or Dota, but shooting them with a gun is too much. I don't know. Seems like violence is violence to me, but I get it. I also get it. It's just it seems like a strange argument.
Tyler, is this something that you would have been on board with when you were in high school? Would you have been like, so you want to like, we'll just like 21 Jump Street you back to high school, and then you can captain the heroes team.
I'll infiltrate the system. I'll bust up the opioid epidemic myself by getting in there and
just playing heroes.
Playing heroes doing poorly.
Oh no, Tyler, you can be their heroes coach, and your first 10 weeks worth of lessons, first 10 weeks of training is how to properly dress your dolly.
Back in my day, we didn't have no loot boxes, or we had to grind gold if we wanted to have a free cosmetic, and you had to be level 10.
Didn't even get all your skills unlocked.
Yeah.
Goddamn kids.
Entitlement generation, having all your talents handed to you on a silver spoon. Yeah, that's pretty
Old
good.
man Tyler is best Tyler.
That's pretty good, Tyler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's cool. The one thing that I took a little bit of, I was kind of surprised towards the end of the article. They said something like, I gotta find the quote. It's something like, "Hey, it's better to have these kids behind school walls from the hours of 2:30 to 5:30 instead of letting them be home or at a friend's house."
Yeah, I saw that. That was weird phrasing. Like, don't
Right? Like what?
don't spend time with your friends, idiot.
Yeah, be in school forever. I felt that was kind of like a weird statement to throw out there. But yeah, good stuff. Play some high school League of Legends, why don't you? This one's fun. So there's going to be a bunch of classic Sega games coming to the Nintendo Switch this summer, including Sonic. You got your Phantasy Star. You got your Thunder Force.
It's not the virtual
4.
console we deserve, but it's the one we need right now.
I was hoping someone would make that correlation that you're going to get Sega Virtual Console basically before the Nintendo one on the Switch. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh God.
Boy.
Yeah, most old games I'm not going to revisit more than like 10 minutes of like, oh, that sure was fun 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll do some of the Sonic games, and if they throw Shining Force there, I'll obviously play through Shining Force again on my Switch. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna not play it.
That one I'm with you on.
But I don't know. It's
Phantasy Star, Alex Kidd, Thunder Force.
A lot of these games are not good. They have like people play them because they're high nostalgia factor, but and I'll admit that even some of the Sonic games aren't that great, and I play them because of nostalgia. But I don't know.
I thoroughly enjoyed those games when I was a young kid and had a Sega Genesis in my house. I don't really have any desire to go play them again, but I'll always go back to this. Like, I think this stuff should be available, and on whatever platforms it runs on should be there. I don't necessarily think that reselling these games over and over and over again, and just packaging them together so that you can still slap a $40 or $60 price tag on it is necessarily the right way about it. But yeah,
I'm betting like $4.99, something like that.
Well, you can get them. I think. I'm trying to remember what they're free on iOS. They're doing that Sega Forever thing on iOS and I think Android. Are they?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've got a few of the games on my iPhone, and it's free to download and it runs ads. Or I think it's $1.99 to remove the ads. Like,
yeah. So
I would imagine, these games aren't going to be any more. Well, Nintendo tax, but they shouldn't be any more than $5.
Yeah, we'll see. See how it goes. Hopefully it does well, and Nintendo's like, man, maybe we should try that. That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe there's a market for older games on
people want to play this shit.
Modern platforms.
You don't say. Well, hey,
and that's when we get missed the Game and Watch games coming to the virtual console.
I don't think virtual consoles ever coming to the Switch. I think that's not going to happen. Not in the way that we know it.
I think that they are too happy to keep manufacturing these little mini things. And I've heard there's rumblings that they're going to get an N64 version coming soon. So
gross.
Well,
whatever.
Hey, here's an example of a developer doing something cool. The Hellblade developers, Ninja Theory, are donating, looks like $50,000 now to Mental Health America in celebration of their game Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice reaching 100,000 units sold. So that's pretty cool. I'm I'm all about
That's
that.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. So they said, sorry, go ahead.
That ties in with with the theme of the game, and it's good that they're actually trying to do something, beneficial with the profits from it. I was super disappointed with the game, but I also respect it.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
Glad it was successful.
Yeah,
it's nice to see finally a development studio that's not like, how can we jam loot boxes into this thing? How can we make every bit of money we possibly can from this? And instead, like, actively doing something good with the money that they make. I mean,
this was tough for them too. Like this was a Kickstarter game, and I remember they specifically were like, we're not asking full price for this thing. Like we're really committed to bringing this super high quality thing, but it's hyper focused and like really comfortable with the $30 price tag we're putting on it and all that. So I respect the hell out of that. And yeah, this was all, I guess it just launched on Xbox One on the 18th. So this is all sales from, just the past few days here. But yeah, it looks like originally the story was that this was kind of like them celebrating 50,000 copies the first week. Now they're on target to hit 100,000, and they said that that's when they'll donate the whole $50,000. So pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool to see. Good on them. Way to go, Ninja Theory.
In a world full of EAs and Activisions and greedy corporations, it'd be nice if we had more Ninja Theories.
Hey, speaking of Activision / Blizzard / King, a little bit of Activision news. Ben Brode, the director of Hearthstone, is leaving Blizzard. He is going to be starting his own game company, and yeah, 15 years. That's a long time.
I hope that works out well for him. He's kind of lived the dream.
Yeah, for sure.
He kind of hired on as as just kind of a nobody.
He was a
tester,
night tester. Yeah, he was like a late shift third string tester, and wound up being the director of one of their most successful games. It's pretty cool. Blizzard devs tend to be, especially like the directors, tend to have like a very bright spotlight shown upon them. There's a lot of huge figures in the Blizzard space over the years. Chris Metzen, Jeff Kaplan, Greg Street used to be like the community guy for WoW. There's a pretty big list there. So, and Ben Brode was definitely the face of Hearthstone. Like he had a whole thing. He was always wearing like a flannel shirt. He would
like a good guy.
He would write raps and record himself rapping about like the game and like updates coming to it and stuff, and post those to Twitter and Reddit and all that. Like he was very active with the community and stuff. So
it sucks to see a lot of shit at him. So
yep, and that
seemed to handle it well.
That's the other side of that. Yeah. People screaming at you because you're ruining the thing that they love. Game. Yeah. But yeah, so kind of exciting. A lot of Blizzard devs have been going off to do their own things lately. Bonfire Studios is another example of that, where a bunch of high up people in Blizzard kind of fractured away and started their own thing. And Blizzard's at least publicly been pretty cool about that, and just kind of like, hey, we wish you well, go do cool stuff, and thanks for your time. I don't know if it stays like that behind the scenes, but at least publicly looks like
as much as it's a dream come true for him, I'm sure having his entire focus being on this one game for however many years, 10 years, how long's it been out? I'm sure he probably would like to pursue other
10 years working on Hearthstone anyway, it says. So the game, I don't think it's been out quite that long. But yeah.
But even so, Blizzard only does a few. They do a few things. They do a few things very, very, very well. Yep. But they only do a few different things, and they all kind of fall within that same sort of vein.
Mm-hmm. Well, these are massive teams too. I think that's something that you take for granted. But there's a lot of as much as like that's his game, it's a team effort. Like the people who are making the cards and coding the thing and doing the art and all that stuff, like they're still there making the same game. He was just the guy at the helm of it. But at the same time, like this probably gives him something that he can really craft himself and make his own, and work with a smaller team. So
yeah, like, what if he spent the last however many years directing this Hearthstone game, and he's wanting to do something completely different, a game where you have a cartoon kitty that makes cheeseburgers for a living or whatever.
That's probably it.
You can't do that at Blizzard.
I don't think there's a lot of room for gambling on small niche projects at Blizzard.
Right.
Yeah, when they go in, they kind of go all in, as referenced in the whole Overwatch and Titan, story saga, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. Wish him well. Hopefully, we get to see some more cool stuff from that dude. And then this last one's pretty huge. Valve done bought up Campo Santo. Didn't see that coming.
Oh yeah.
So, Kring, you said something when we were going over this, like prior to the show. You said like, "Oh yeah, Valve's making games now again." Like that is that?
Yeah,
Valve is like, that. Is that...
This isn't a thing that they do, is it?
Right.
Not for a long time have they been doing this, but no, Valve's. What is that guy's name? Gabe Newell was saying that Valve's going to start making games again. Like you're going to start seeing stuff come out from them again.
I think with God, what's their card game called that's in development?
Oh, the Dota card game.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. That one.
Yeah.
See, no one
the
cares.
One that everyone was just like, oh.
Yeah, hey, we're gonna announce a new game, and everyone was like,
Artifact?
we know it's Artifact. Yeah. We know it's not gonna be Half-Life 3, but everyone was secretly hoping it was gonna be Half-Life 3. Yeah, and then they announced Artifact. And
part of me doesn't want to ever see a Half-Life 3 because
you won't.
It can't live up to what you want from it now. It's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
No. No.
Luke in the chat, shout out Luke. Yeah, Firewatch 2 confirmed. We'll never see Firewatch 3. Yeah, that's accurate.
And Firewatch 2 on a cliffhanger.
To be honest, more than anything, I would rather see a Portal 3. I would rather see more of that game than a Half-Life 3.
If they can make them at the same high standards, shit, yeah.
Isn't that the last kind of example of that we have from Valve, of them like? Wasn't that like a group of students or something that were making Portal or whatever? They were making it for like
a college project or like their final college.
Valve kind of brought them in, yeah.
Thing, and Valve brought them in, yeah.
Hey, I'm down. Campo Santo, their Firewatch is one of Questlog's favorite games.
Yes,
I believe that was my game of the year for 2016. Yeah. Yeah, Questlog or Firewatch is it's a hell of a game.
Impression.
Yeah,
for sure.
Whenever I can see Valve throw money at them, let them make all the games, because I am excited to see what they come out with next. Isn't this thing supposed to be like some sort of like a Valley of the Gods thing that they're working on? Because Valve said that they're not gonna, like, their production schedule is going to remain the same, and they're just sort of like, oh, we're buying them, but you guys, you do you. We just want the money that you make.
Seems like, yep, they're just throwing more money at it and bringing them on in. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Well, hey, that ends the news, and you know what that means? It means it's time for this. It's a topic. It is a topic. And the topic this week is most memorable boss fights. Oh, man. It's all about boss fights, guys. Kring, what's the most memorable boss fight that you can remember?
I got two for you, actually.
Two of them? All right. Hit me.
I got two. To continue along the theme of God of War,
got the same one.
It's the Hydra fight from the first God of War. When that game was coming out, I worked at GameStop at the time, and this was back when This was back, kids, when demos came on actual individual discs that you got from Sony or Microsoft or whoever. Then you had to take that disc and you had to play the demo on that.
Right.
But they it was just that first level. It ended as soon as the Hydra fight ended. And I played that thing through 5 times in a row before I ever put it down, and I was like, I have got to get this game. And then even like before the game came out, like as we're leading up to the release date, I would still pop that in every so often and play the demo. I played it a few more times before the game came out, to the point where that game came out and I was honestly like, okay, this is great, but I want to see something different now. So I'm like rushing through that level as fast as I could so I could get to the new stuff. But that Hydra fight was just fantastic.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it, just on that huge scale. And first game was a violent work of art.
Yeah,
and that could be part of it too. That makes that boss fight so memorable is just how visceral that game was back when that came out. We had never seen anything like that yet.
Yep.
And oh god, that was such a good fight.
Was it super challenging, or was it? It was just more the spectacle.
Super challenging, but it was grandiose and visceral, and there's lots of blood flying everywhere, and the way you're moving around, and
slamming them down into the ship.
Yeah, you like everything that he was doing. You sort of almost felt, because it was just so powerful.
That's cool. I have vague memories of this. I know I played the first God of War, and I'm pretty sure I beat it, but this didn't stick in my head for some reason.
Just go and play the first one, Tyler, and then pretend that he's just a crotchety old Viking guy.
Okay,
while you do it.
All right. Homework assigned. Oh man, that's funny.
Oh,
Luke in the chat
says,
says,
I've got for you.
"Oh, sorry. Go ahead."
Because I got a second one for you.
Yeah.
Is Bowser on Super Mario 64, the final Bowser fight? Because you had it was the moment when, this is back before the internet and stuff, so you found out what happened from playing the game, not watching YouTube videos of it. So I had no idea that it was going to take 3 hits on the bombs to kill Bowser instead of just the one that it had been the previous time. And then after the second one, he lands and stomps his feet and breaks away all of this ground.
Kidding. Continue. Or don't. Okay.
I don't want to anymore. No, but it was crazy because the difficulty then ramped right up, because what I had been doing a lot was I was really bad at timing the throws, and I just kept throwing them off and missing. So what I had been doing was like I would just throw them kind of a short distance, spin them around a little bit, and then launch him far enough so that I could kind of like line him up better, but
gently toss him.
Yeah, gently.
It hurt you, buddy.
Yeah. Gently sort of set him down, go run and pick him back up and do it that way. But then now all of a sudden, like, I couldn't do that. I had to throw him, and I had to land the throw, and it became super difficult. I ended up having to actually get good.
He looks like a little baby Bowser. Forgot how simple he looks.
She's real blocky looking.
Yeah.
That just run right into him. I'm sure that won't hurt.
That'll work. That'll get him. Yeah, that was a cool fight. Yeah, hucking him into the different explodey things.
I would do a lot of that. Huck him into either a bomb that already blew up, or there's no bomb at all, and here I am saying, "So long, gay Bowser."
Okay.
That's what he said.
What?
That's what he said in the game.
What? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I don't know what you're talking
about
right now.
Confirm or deny, but that seems not likely.
That seems like that wouldn't get through localization. Hopefully,
this was 1996.
Yeah.
I don't think Mario was like, bye, queer. I don't think that happened.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Uh-huh.
All right. Dig
I'm
yourself
gonna hang
out.
on. I'm gonna hang on. Brian, while Kring's doing research, what do you got for me?
All right.
Please
he
save
just says
this.
so long Bowser, but it's in an Italian accent. This is I'm not the only one here who thought that this is what it was. I'm on Know Your Meme right
You're the
now.
only one on this call who thought that's what it was.
And it's a misheard voice line, and there's a whole GIF with the audio line playing in the background, and people think it's so long gay Bowser. Like this is not an uncommon thing,
All right.
Tyler. Don't you judge me here.
Oh, I'm judging you harshly right now. You thought that Mario was just throwing some shade at old Bowser on his way down.
It was the 90s. Things were different in the 90s. It was 90. It was
They weren't
96.
that different.
1920s Disney.
Japanese game.
Right.
Come on now.
Oh my gosh. All right. Wow. Well, Brian, what do you got?
That's a tough act to follow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had the Hydra from God of War.
Yeah.
Probably because it's somewhat recent for me. The end fight for Hollow Knight.
Okay.
Stuck with me more because of what it meant than the actual mechanics of the fight itself.
Are you talking about fighting the Hollow Knight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. One awesome fight. That's just it was. I struggled to not include that one myself, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah, like there's that moment where I realized it's like that he doesn't seem like he's in control of his shit right now. This seems to be bad in many ways.
Yeah. Yep. So slight spoilers for Hollow Knight here. If you don't want to know how that game ends, maybe don't listen for a second. Yeah, earmuffs, Kring. But yeah, you finally get into this area that you've seen before, and you get to fight the titular Hollow Knight, and he is a just bastard bug. He's super, super powerful. He hits real hard, and it's just the quintessential 2D side-scroller boss fight. Like, you have to really learn his patterns.
Get your ass kicked a few times.
Dodge, parry, learn the moves. And yeah, I did a lot of experimenting with different charms, like finding out which charms I wanted to have for this fight. Died a lot of times. And yeah, it's a fun battle. Visually impressive. I love that, like, a lot of these guys, I'm trying to remember what the stuff's called. The radiance, is that what it's called? The orange shit that all these bugs are kind of infected with.
I can't remember, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
is it safe to come back now?
Sure. But yeah, yeah, just a real cool fight. And there's a lot of disturbing stuff. Like, there's a point where he takes his nail and starts just shoving it straight into his.
I guess it wasn't safe to come back, Tyler.
It's just like super disturbing the first time that happens. Like, you're like, oh my god, what is this thing
when it looks
doing?
like he's being picked up like a puppet and slammed on the ground. Like, he's not jumping on you, he's being like picked up and slammed by something on you.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. He ain't happy. He ain't having a good day.
He didn't want to be here. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there's a second boss that you actually can fight. I can't remember exactly the prerequisites that I had to fulfill in order to get the second fight, but you actually fight this thing called the Radiance, which is like this universe's version of a god. And that was one of the hardest fights that I've ever done. I actually ended up failing it so many times and then giving up and watching a YouTube video of the ending from that one because it was so difficult. I'm not going to show that one here, though. Like, just know that there's an extra one in Hollow Knight, and it's really good, too. Okay, Kring, you can come back now.
You sure?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm trusting you on this.
Trust in me.
The other one I wanted to throw in real quick was the Butcher from the original Diablo.
Oh shit!
First time you meet the Butcher, and there's lots of doors, lots of little rooms, and little bad guys to fight. Then you open one particular door, and you hear fresh meat, and this fucking red demon comes and just carves you up.
Yup.
That was real good.
Wasn't it like a random floor too? Like it wasn't in the same place all the time?
The second or third floor. It wasn't set up like, here's a big fancy room that you have to fight your way into. It was just like, no, it's just a door. Just another door.
What's this one? Yeah. Bad news happens.
Yeah, like the original Diablo was a lot like a roguelike. Like it was very challenging. It wasn't just like, oh, mow down fields and fields of enemies and you're a super powerful being. It was, you had to fight to stay alive a lot.
That's real cool. God, that looks so primitive now, but yeah, he's just this big bloody pig looking demon.
96.
Yeah, pretty cool. We got some in the chat here, some real good ones. I'm just gonna bring these up real quick. We got Wheatley from Portal 2, Kel'Thuzad, I'm assuming from WoW, not Warcraft 3, but he makes an appearance in both of those, and both fights are actually very cool. Mother Brain from Super Metroid, and the first time you fight a Colossus in Shadow of the Colossus. Agreed. That was like a real breathtaking moment. Just the scale.
Having just been able to experience that recently, yeah, that is an extremely memorable boss fight.
I remember just thinking, like, how is this in a game? Like, how is this whole thing, this moving zone, basically, is the thing I'm fighting? It's crazy. Yeah, that was real cool. The one I was gonna bring up might be a little cliched, but good old Ganon from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That is a fucking boss fight. Krang, where you at on Ganon?
The Ocarina of Time Ganon,
yes, Ocarina of Time Ganon.
The Ocarina of Time Ganon was difficult because the Ocarina of Time Ganon had all those different you went through.
First of all, it's like the super epic. You fought through Ganon's castle, old Hyrule Castle, up these stairs, and he's at an organ. He's at like a church organ playing the music that you're hearing, his theme, as you're going up this giant winding staircase. And after you beat him, he brings the whole fucking tower down, and you have to escape from the castle as it's exploding. It sounds like
a Castlevania game, and you just fought Dracula.
Yeah, it's basically that. He's got Zelda in a crystal.
You just get over yourself and play Ocarina of Time already.
God, no.
It's and then so the whole castle comes down. You make it out, and then what's left is Ganon, and he's Ganondorf, and he's transforming into Ganon, like out of the rubble of the castle. He's just like coughing up blood and heaving, and then he just like loses his shit and screams and turns into this giant beast. It's awesome. And then you have to fight, the pig version of Ganon. He's got these two giant swords. It's a cool fight. Like fire comes up around the whole battle arena, and it's just very cool. It doesn't look like much these days. My memories of it are much more epic than what the N64 was capable of displaying.
Squares and triangles.
But, yeah. As a like 10 or 12-year-old kid. Right, yeah. But man, that was a cool fight.
I like this fight a lot better than the Ganon fight. Even now, I like this fight a lot better than the Ganon fight in Breath of the Wild, because the Ganon fight in Breath of the Wild, Hyrule Castle was like the big draw because the music was so epic in Hyrule Castle there. Mm-hmm. But then the fight, like you thought it was gonna be this big epic fight from this buildup, and it kind of fell flat for me. Like, I spent this entire game dying to all sorts of things for all sorts of reasons and struggling to make it through the world sometimes, just to go in and just ace this boss battle and go, oh, that's It's over now.
We also completed like most of that game before that fight.
That's true.
Too. So like
that's true.
You and I went in there like, you know, fucking strapped, ready to go.
That's true.
And just took it again. And like I would imagine if you're looking for that challenge, you could just, you know, try to waltz in there
just,
right after.
Go in with your little wooden sword right off the rip.
Right. Yeah. So the challenge is there if you want it, but I'm with you. It was definitely, I don't know. It was more lackluster, less memorable.
I guess if the challenge is from like not being prepared, but we spent all our time going through and playing this game and being so prepared that it made the game kind of the fight kind of anticlimactic, especially when like there's what are those horse guys called? I forget their names now. The Lionel. There's that Lionel in the courtyards of Hyrule Castle, and he's a real bastard to kill. And I ended up dying over there like 3 or 4 times because there's him, and then there's all those guardians out there. Yep. And I thought, man, if this is an indication of what this boss fight's going to be, I am in for a real tough fight. And then you just go in there and you kick Ganon's ass, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, wipe the floor of them,
yeah. Like the courtyard was harder than this.
I would agree, yeah, because the Lionels are still a threat even when you're all beefed up and have all your powers and stuff. Like, they can still kill you. And, to go in there and just work Ganon over was kind of not cool. But yeah,
this was a tough one for me. I don't have a lot of real memorable boss fights.
I can think of I could think of a few, but this one's my favorite. Like when I think of man, what's a great boss fight? Ocarina of Time. Yeah, that's the one.
Like the one in BioShock came to mind. I think it was Andrew. I don't know the big plot twist, but that was more a really cool story element and not a good fight.
Yeah,
I would say
golf club now.
I would say getting the first time you have to fight a Big Daddy is a far more epic fight within that game. The Big Daddies were insanely scary in the first game.
Yeah, I remember the first time I encountered one of those going like, oh, this game is not fucking around.
They set that up real well where you're looking at a side of glass watching it fuck up a splicer, like drill them into the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was that. The first BioShock is almost as much a horror game as it is, a first-person
shooter. It really is. There were times where I was playing it in college, and there were times where because one of my buddies would go home every weekend because he had a job back where he was from, and then another one of my roommates would work nights in town, so there were a lot of nights where I was alone completely in the apartment trying to play that game, and some nights where I just went, I'm going to put this down and I'm going to go back to playing Halo because this shit is terrifying.
Yeah, the whole Sandra Cohen thing. I was just like, I feel ill. I need to not be in this area anymore.
Yep.
Definitely feel that. And the little sisters going through and, like...
Ooh. No.
Yeah. All of it.
Did you harvest any of them?
I did not.
I did one, and then I felt real awful about it. It was not, Brian. It was every bit as unpleasing as you think it was. It maybe more so. It was not fun to do.
Not pretty.
I did it accidentally. I was committed to not doing that, and I think I hit the wrong button accidentally one time. And so it just happened, and I was like, "Oh no!"
I did it for the worst reason possible, though.
Just because you wanted to cause harm to a child. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Give me that, Adam.
I did it for the achievement, for the stupid gamer score points, and felt real awful for doing it.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprising thing that they let you do in a game is cause harm to these little children. It's a weird world we live in. Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I think that's going to do it for the show, guys. Thanks for everyone who showed up in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thanks for giving us your boss fights. If you're listening to the show now after the live recording and you want to tell us what your favorite boss fight of all time is, do that by sending an email electronically to mail@questlogcast.com.
Like an envelope.
Yeah. Put a IP address
shit.
stamp on it and send it right on over. That's how that works. You can follow us on Twitter @QuestLogCast. You can get the show at questlogcast.com. There's all kinds of ways that you can get more of us in your life. You can check them all out at questlogcast.com. And big thanks to Visitor. You can hear more of Visitor's great music at visitor.bandcamp.com. Implore you all to do that. And show up next week, won't you? We'll be doing this again Saturday. What'll that be? Boy, it'll be 28th.
That would have been. Should have got your calendar up before that, Tyler.
Yeah, I know. Yep. That'll be the 28th, around 11 o'clock. We'll be doing this again right here at twitch.tv/questlogcast. And thank you all, and have a great night. Go play more God of War.
Take care.
Good night, everyone.